We start off by explaining the bones of the shoulder girdle, and we start off by the clavicle. The clavicle is an S-shaped long bone, and that is the only bone that is horizontal in the body. The clavicle has a sternal end and the acromial end. Sternal because it articulates with the sternum, and the acromial end because it articulates with the acromion of the scapula. The part in between is called the shaft. While looking at the clavicle from the top, it is important to remember that the sternal end is convex anteriorly, while the acromial end is concave anteriorly. You should also remember that the sternal end is thick and the acromial end is flat. While this might seem as only a mere description of the shape, it is really important because we will need it later in the video. The sternal end carries an articular surface, which creates the sternoclavicular articulation. If we get just underneath the clavicle, we can see the costal tuberosity. This is where the costal ligament attaches. We will see it shortly right after we explain the bone. If we look just a little bit more laterally, we can see the subclavian groove, and that is for the subclavian muscle, which we will see shortly. As a rule, there is a nutrient foramen here, and this is already the body of the clavicle that we're talking about. And the body is also triangular, just as the sternal end, but the edges are not that sharp, so it's a little bit harder to notice. The lower surface keeps entertaining us with details, and that does not change at the acromial end either. Here we can see the articular surface for the acromion of the scapula. And over here we can see the coracoid tuberosity, which consists of the conoid tubercle and the trapezoid line. It can be tricky to recognize whether it is a left or a right clavicle. If we look at the clavicle from above, like this, it is important to notice that this is the upper surface because it is smooth. It does not have the subclavian groove. Then we also should notice that this is the sternal, thicker end and not the flat one. And also, we should make it convex here anteriorly. So placed this way, there is no doubt that this is a left clavicle. These lessons come as part of my software called Animated Anatomy that you can purchase on animatedanatomy.com. Or you can click here and subscribe for free lessons in the future.